Mr. Flores, you are the father of a child by the name of Brianna Bella Flores.
Yes,
And how old is Brianna?
8.
And her date of birth is November 28th, 2017.
Yes,
And you previously have an order where it grants you certain rights, where you're appointed as joint managing conservator as a parent, correct?
yes,
And you also have there was a phase possession schedule because the child was under 3, correct?
yes, yes,
And you also had standard possession after that time frame.
yes,
The decree has been filed on case lines as Petitioner's Exhibit B or A, pages B1 through B32, correct?
yes,
And that was uploaded to the court system yesterday.
yes, sir.
And you're asking the court to modify that provision, correct?
Yes.
And specifically, what are you asking the court to modify in the decree?
My my time with my daughter.
And what do you want the court to modify in the order?
I want to get extended standard visitation. The the time that I have, I want to have my daughter like a normal father does.
Can you tell the court at the time when the decree was filed, which was back in October 28th of 2019, were you present in the courtroom when the judge entered that order?
No,
Where were you, sir?
I was in prison.
And what were you in prison for?
Transferring conspiracy to transfer illegal aliens.
And how much time did you get?
1 year.
And did you successfully complete your time?
Yes.
And you were released in what year?
2020.
And when you were released from custody, did you do a term of supervised release?
Yes, 3 years probation.
And did you successfully complete that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. After you got out of prison, who did you move in with immediately being released?
With Emily Gonzalez.
And she's present here. She's the
She
respondent.
is.
And you also, who else was living with you all when you were released from prison?
My daughter,
Okay.
Brianna Bella Flores.
And how long did you and Ms. Gonzalez stay together?
For about a little bit over a year.
During that time frame when you were residing together, were you responsible for caring for your daughter?
Yes.
And tell the court, how often would you be caring for your daughter on a monthly basis?
Every day. Every
And
day when I was living there.
were there any issues with your caring for your daughter while you were living with Ms. Gonzalez?
No.
Okay. Now you subsequently separated
Yes.
and you haven't been together with Ms. Gonzalez for over 5 years.
Correct.
Okay. And have you been able to exercise your normal visits as a father under the standard possession order of the order?
No.
Okay. And tell the court why not.
She wants supervised visits under these phases that I had already completed.
Okay. And when you tell the court that you had completed the phases, why do you believe you had completed the phases?
Because I was with my daughter every day.
For how many days?
Every day. Every day.
For over 365 days?
Over 365 days.
And how have you exercised possession of your daughter for the last 5 years?
Monitored by my parents.
Okay. And are you allowed to take your daughter to your home so she could spend the night?
No.
And you would like the court to modify the visitation so that you can get what's called extended standard.
Correct.
Do you live within 50 miles of the residence of Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
You live in the same city?
Yes.
And you're also asking for standard holidays
Correct.
and standard summer possession.
Correct.
Have you ever exercised a summer possession of your child in the last 5 years?
No.
And you would like to do that?
Yes.
Do you, when you do get to see your daughter, tell the court how your relationship is?
I mean, my daughter, she loves me. We have a great relationship. I mean, I would love to build further on it, but my daughter and me, we're not going to be separated, and we can't. I mean, we have a great relationship.
Are you able to care for your daughter if the
Yes.
judge were to grant you extended standard?
Yes, I can.
Where do you currently reside, sir?
442 Sagebrush.
And tell the court who resides with you.
My wife.
And how long have you been married?
5 years.
And what does your wife do for a living?
She works at Walmart.
Okay. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a supervisor at Burlington.
And as a supervisor at Burlington, tell the court what are some of your responsibilities?
I open the store, close the store, count money. I open the store with money registers over $25,000 a night. I manage 25 employees. Um, I'm, I basically have the keys to the store. I do have the keys to the store.
Now, currently, you're residing in a one bedroom home, correct?
It's a studio, two rooms, one
If-
downstairs, one upstairs.
If the judge were to grant you an extended standard visitation schedule under the Texas Family Code, what are your plans for purposes of expanding your rooms?
We would, I mean, look into getting another place if we need to.
Currently, right now, in your current living arrangement, are you able to put a bed for your daughter so
Oh,
she can
yes.
sleep with you?
Yes,
And
Yes.
has your daughter ever slept in the same room with you and your wife?
yes.
Tell the court how that happens.
When my daughter stays over at my mother's house, I'll stay over at my mother's house.
And does she sleep in the same bedroom as you and your wife?
Yes, she does, right in the middle.
Does your wife get along with your daughter?
Very, very well.
Um, do you believe that changing the visitation so that you would be granted an extended standard possession schedule would be in the best interest of your daughter?
Yes, I do.
And you would promise to the court and to mom, Ms. Gonzalez, that you would do all your duties as a father should.
Yes, I will.
Okay, and you submitted a couple of exhibits. Judge, if I may ask the court staff to call up B 33 and 34.
Court staff will prompt.
And if you could look at the screen. Do you recognize what I'm showing you as B 33?
Yeah, text message between me and my daughter.
Is this a true and accurate copy of a text message between you and your daughter?
Yes,
And who is speaking in the blue?
I am.
And you're telling your daughter what?
But I miss her.
And what does she say?
We can go lower. I can.
May I ask if we could zoom out a little
Oh,
bit?
I miss you and Sabrina.
Okay.
I love you, Dad.
And this was in November 22nd of this year?
Correct.
And then
Last, well,
2025, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
2025.
And then on the next page of this exhibit, who's speaking in the blue bubble?
That's me.
And what are you telling your daughter?
Good morning. You know, just wanted to tell her hi and how she's doing.
And what does she respond?
Good morning. I love you too. What are you gonna do today?
Now, these are just a few of the text messages that you shared with your daughter over the years, correct?
Correct.
And how is it that you were sharing these messages? How were you communicating with your daughter?
We paid for the phone. My parents paid for a phone that she had.
And have you been able to communicate with your daughter through this phone recently?
No,
Tell the court what happened as to why you can no longer communicate with your daughter over the
her
phone.
mother gave the phone back to my parents
In what month?
in, I believe it was March, in the beginning of March, end of February.
Of 2026?
Yes, this year.
And if we look at Exhibit C, which is B 35, if we could call that up, please.
Court staff will prompt.
And if we could zoom out a little bit. This is the text messages in March of this year,
Correct.
correct? And in the green, who's speaking?
That's me.
And you're saying, good girl, we miss you. How are you doing? And what does your daughter respond?
I miss you too. You and Sabrina. Love you too, Dad and Sabrina.
And who is Sabrina?
My wife.
And this is your daughter telling you that she misses you?
Yes.
And in March of 2026, did you get to see your daughter?
No,
When was the last time that you've been able to see your daughter?
on Christmas.
And have you seen her for the month of January 2026,
No,
February 2026?
no,
March 2026?
no,
April of 2026?
no,
May of 2026?
no,
June of 2026?
no.
Are you asking the court to grant you some makeup visitation for the time that you've lost visitation with your daughter?
Yes, I am.
And specifically, what you're asking for is 39 days, correct?
Yes,
For the last visits that you've had during these months.
yes.
Right. Now, let me show you what's been marked as exhibit exhibit D. And these are on B 37 through B 44.
Court staff will prompt.
And if we could just scroll through each picture, do you recognize these photographs that they're showing you on the screen?
Yes,
Are these true and accurate photographs of you and your daughter?
yes,
And who else is on these photographs?
my wife.
And on this particular photograph, this is on B 39. Who is that?
That's my parents.
With
Just want to hear from court staff that the witness is audible.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, those are my parents.
And then on B 40,
That's me and my older daughter with my youngest, with Brandon.
and does your older daughter have a relationship with your younger daughter?
Yes,
And then on B 41, who's in this photograph?
that's my eldest with my youngest and me and my wife.
And this is at whose home?
That's in my home.
And then if you look at B 43,
That's us again. My wife, my eldest, and my youngest.
okay, now these are just a few of the photographs from this year. Do you have other photographs of you and your daughter?
Yes, we have plenty.
And in these photographs, your daughter appear to be happy,
Yes,
and she enjoys the relationship with you and your wife and your
very, very much.
and her sister?
Yes,
All right. Now, Judge, at this moment, I'd like to introduce exhibit B1 through B 44, exhibits A, B, C, and D.
There's a request to say the numbers again for the record.
It's exhibit A, B, C, and D. They are B1 through B 44 for petitioner, Mr. Flores.
Any objection to the court receiving those into evidence? Ms. Gonzalez?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Any objection to the court receiving those documents into evidence?
Fine.
Court will admit those into evidence. Without objection.
Okay, Mr. Flores, there are certain things that we're asking from the court. Are you asking the court to continue to allow for you to be a joint managing conservator of the child?
yes,
You're asking for mom to continue to be the person who gets to decide where the child lives.
yes,
You're asking the court to modify your visitation from standard visitation to extended standard visitation beginning today.
yes,
You're also asking the court to grant you standard holidays, standard summer under the Texas Family Code.
yes,
And you're asking the court to grant you visits for makeup visits for 39 total days.
yes,
And there's one final thing that you're asking the court. You would like the court to modify the order so that the child doesn't travel to Mexico. Is that correct?
correct.
And tell the court why you are asking the court not to allow the child to travel to Mexico.
I just feel it's dangerous, Mexico, right now with all the cartel, the kidnapping. I mean, anything could happen. Nothing has happened, but it can until it does.
And
And
when
I'm
you
trying
say
to
nothing
prevent
has
that.
happened, what do you mean by that?
Well, because they have a home in Bustamante and they travel there every so often. I'm not gonna say they travel all the time, but it's every so often. And I just feel that my daughter's safety could be at risk. Any
And when you say they, who are you talking about?
her mother and her parents.
Your daughter's mother, Ms.
Correct.
Gonzalez.
Correct.
Okay. And so you would like the court to instruct that there be no travel, international travel to Mexico.
Correct.
And that's based on the safety currently in Mexico.
Yes.
And you are aware that the Department of State has a travel advisory, do not travel to Mexico, correct?
Yes.
Especially for US citizens?
Correct.
Do you believe that what you're asking the court to do, the modifications that you're asking the court to do are in the best interest of the child?
Yes, I do.
And are you asking the court to grant you what you've requested?
Yes, I am.
I pass the witness, Judge.
This is your opportunity, Ms. Gonzalez, to ask Mr. Flores any questions. Do you have any questions for Mr. Flores?
Yes, where does the concern for Mexico come from? After all these 8 years that we've been going at least twice, he's never showed any concern.
What is the response to that question?
You can answer.
Oh, I have. I always have. But I was never able to see my daughter. They never tell me when they were going. It was, I mean, it's not like I had a phone call. We're traveling to Mexico. It would just, they just do it. So I had no knowledge of it when they would.
Any other questions for Mr. Flores?
Yes. Again, going back to the concern, where was he when he left his daughter 6 months that she was born? And that, yes, he was living with us for a year. And again, why would he not be a part of Brianna's life after that?
What's the answer?
I've always been a part of Brianna's life, my daughter's life. As you can see from the pictures, I have her from when she was young, all the way, any chance I could have her. You see, when I did get out, I had a lot of night jobs, so it's not like my schedule was available from an 8 to 5 stand. I worked graveyards, and when I did get out of work, I'd go see my daughter if she was at my parents' house and if I was allowed to see her. So everything has been monitored and just basically under her thumb, under her rule in which she wanted. I just want to standard my visitation, my rights as a father.
Any other questions for Mr. Flores, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, I wanna ask him that, how come he cannot just be a good co-parent and a good father figure? And why does he always have to have his parents do the middle work or his wife? This is our daughter.
Response.
I really don't understand the question, Your Honor. What if,
If you
the
don't
reason I'm
understand the
here-
question, you shouldn't answer because you wouldn't be
Yeah,
answering the
can
question
you-
accurately.
you
So
repeat it
stop,
again? I'm
don't
sorry.
talk to each other. Would you like to rephrase the question or ask a different one?
I can rephrase
Go ahead.
that. How come he cannot just be a good co-parent and be a present father? And stop letting his parents interfere or his wife, that the communication for our daughter should be between me and him. like
Response,
adult.
Mr. Flores?
I believe the phone call between me and her should be monitored by the app close. That's the way we can co-parent is by the app. We agreed the last time to do that. I downloaded my part and there was nothing ever done response. So I'm willing to communicate and co-parent with her through the app.
Any other questions for Mr. Flores?
Yes, I wanna know if his alcohol has been under control and the substance abuse, and if he has completed any rehab.
There's never been any substance abuse or alcohol abuse, Your Honor. And so I don't know where this is coming from. If
Any-
she says that she has no knowledge of me these 8 years, I don't know where she's coming with this, that I have alcohol and so
Any other questions, Ms. Flores?
That's just my concern for our daughter, if that's still an issue and if she'll be having a place to stay. She is turning into a young lady. At our home, we do have a 4-bedroom home. Right here in San Isidro, swimming pool and everything. I understand he wants to be part of her life and I'm okay with that. I've never stuck to the visitations, as you can see, and I submitted proof. I would always lend her to the grandparents. She would even tell me I went to my dad's house. I wouldn't even make a fuss about it. And on regards to the alcohol, yes, because he has even drunk called me saying that to go see him because he's had an argument with his wife. And the witness for that would be his mother, because she was there and even asked.
I object
to
as to the
excuse him.
relevance, Judge, and there is no question.
Sustained. Any other questions for Mr. Flores?
That's it.
Anything on redirect?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Flores, you told the court that after you were released from prison, you had to do 3 years of supervised release
correct,
under the federal program, correct?
correct,
And part of that program required to be drug tested, reporting, correct?
correct,
To be employed,
correct,
to stay out of trouble,
correct,
and you successfully completed 3 years of supervision under the federal program,
correct.
correct? And you currently have no issues with drugs or alcohol,
None at all.
and you're just asking the court to allow you to be granted extended standard visitations.
Correct.
Thank you, Judge.
Any follow-up questions for Mr. Flores?
Yes, I wanted to know why his father had stated that he had entered a rehab and left the rehab.
Objection, Your Honor, calls for hearsay from a third party who is not present to give that statement.
Sustained, only he can testify on that. Any other questions for Mr. Flores?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any other witnesses?
Not on my behalf. The petitioner closes, Judge.
All right, now that Mr. Flores has rested, Ms. Gonzalez, you can now tell the court what you want. Go ahead.
Your Honor, like I said, it is in the best interest for our daughter to have her father present. I'm asking for a present father figure for her. I'm okay with him having her over at his house as long as she has her own room. Like I said, she's already turning into a young lady. She does need her privacy. As standing here for her, she says 4 days is a lot for her, and I understand she's not used to this change. I'm asking for him to pick her up Fridays at 6 and give her back on Sunday. And take maybe a probation period where he shows he's consistent. I'm asking for the communication between me and him as parents. No disrespect from his part. I don't want my daughter exposed to that. And for him to respect if she calls me that she wants to be picked up, for him to allow that.
Say that last part again. I missed that. Say that again.
That if my daughter calls that she wants to come home to her mother, for him to allow that. I think she was even wanting to speak to you. I think she's young, but she understands. She's very bright, that she should be able to choose where she feels comfortable and who she wants to be with. Perfect example, I know Father's Day is coming and she said, "Mommy, what am I gonna do? It's Grandpa's Day."
All right. Anything else you want to tell the court?
Just for the court to take in consideration the visits to Mexico, Your Honor. Like I said, I do have property out there. She's been going, we do not go often, and of course, when we hear an alert, we stay here. I would never put my daughter in risk like that. When I would go, I would notify his parents. I'm going into Bustamante. I'm in Nuevo Laredo getting permits. I arrived to Bustamante. Brianna would make calls to let them know she was okay. I would let them know when we were coming back. You can see in the proof, I always maintain good communication with him. I never denied my daughter. It's been his choice to be out of her picture.
Closing, Mr. Bella.
Judge, we're asking the court to grant a modification under chapter 156. The modification, there's been a material substantial change since the entry of this order back in 2019. The testimony provided by my client shows what the change has been. The change, the request would be in the best interest of the child, because it would allow my client to establish the relationship that he seeks, that he hasn't had the way a normal father would for the last 8 years. He has successfully completed supervised release. He lived with the mother for a year. He's been visiting with the child through the supervision of his mother. He's a supervisor at Burlington factory, where he's a supervisor for over 25 employees with a lot of responsibilities to show that he's a good character. He is already named a joint managing conservator as a parent to show that he wasn't excluded back in 2019 and named a sole managing conservator. And the Texas legislature has designated that the court shall grant extended standard visitation at an oral or written election under chapter 153.317, which my client elected both in writing and is electing here orally before the court to have extended standard. Chapter 153.3171 says the court shall award it if the court finds that it's in the best interest of the child. There's nothing to show that it would be inappropriate for the child to have his extended rights with my client. The daughter gets along with my client's wife, with my client's other daughter. She gets along with her grandparent, who's here in the courtroom, with her grandfather. The mother, who's here, Ms. Gonzalez, allows the child to be in the house of the grandparents and around all the family to show that she enjoys her time. The only problem is that we don't have an order that's effective right now that gives my client the right to go pick up his daughter because there's no start date on the order. We would like the court to enter an order starting today that my client would be granted extended standard visitation under the Texas Family Code. The public policy of the state under 153.001 is to assure frequent and continuing contact between parents and children. And my client can provide a safe and stable environment for the child. And he looks forward to getting a bigger place so that he could get the child her own bedroom. And if the child is told that she needs to go visit with her father under the family code or under the schedule, the parties should be able to follow the schedule. They would be able to communicate through the app close program. Lastly, Judge, I'm asking the court to grant us makeup visits for 39 days for the months and the days and the weekends that we missed from January to June. And I would ask the court to consider imposing a no travel to Mexico for the child in this case. As the court is well aware, the travel to Mexico is considered extremely dangerous. I understand Ms. Gonzalez has a home there. I would just say that you never know when it's your turn when you're traveling into Mexico. And we would ask the court to consider imposing that restriction.
You're closing, Ms. Gonzalez. Tell the court what you're asking the court to do.
I'm asking the court just to consider Brianna's emotions. We can go back and forth all day. I leave the decision in the court's hands. It should know what the best interest is for Brianna. In regards, again, to the Mexico, because she loves going, I'm not in agreement. He's never shown interest. With all due respect, this motion just started because I pushed on child support. If it's about the money, he can have the money back. His lawyer's here, he can sign over rights. But I do not think it's in the best interest for Brianna to be with him 4 days just like that. She's not ready for it. I'm asking for the court to consider her emotions. Like I said, she's getting counseling. She had a counseling session on Wednesday. I did speak to the counselor that we were gonna go through this and how do I explain it to her? In regards to the makeup visit, I'm not in agreement either. That was his choice. I would have moved mountains to see my daughter, something Mr. Flores did not do because of his choice. Even when my daughter goes with the grandparents, I ask her, did you see your dad? No, it's always the grandparents having to push for her to help me provide for her. He not once asked if she needs anything. Brianna has seen asthma specialist in
Judge, I'm
San
gonna
Antonio.
object to her closing because a lot of the testimony she's providing was not introduced into evidence during her case in chief.
Let's summarize what you told the court earlier, not any new information,
That's
because,
the decision in the court's hand.
all right, Mr. Flores, Ms. Gonzalez, the court has heard sufficient information to allow the court to make a decision in your case. I'm gonna repeat what I say in any hearings. Please don't assume that I ever like my decisions. I just look, all I do is I take the facts that are presented. I know nothing about Mr. Flores, nothing about Ms. Gonzalez, nothing about your lives, your situations, other than what I hear here. So only you all know your situation best. And I just take the law and I apply it to your facts and I give you an outcome, right? So here's what the law says, what I say the law says should happen in your situation. So regarding the modification, the court does find that there is a material and substantive change that would allow the court to make changes to the current orders. So let me go through the changes and then I'll hear from each of you to hear any objections, if you want to lodge any. First, on extended standard, I reviewed, as you all were testifying and arguing, I reviewed the law. The law says that the court shall do it unless there's something else that's presented that would change this court to believe that it is in the best interest not to grant it. I just didn't hear anything that will allow the court to prevent what should be ordered. So extended standard is hereby granted. The only thing that the court heard, I think, from Ms. Gonzalez is that Mr. Flores is a convicted federal felon. In response, Mr. Flores testified to the charge, the conviction, the sentence, and the successful completion of supervised release. And the court will also note that the charge is completely, I don't want to say it's irrelevant because it is, but it's completely unrelated to the matters pending here. In other words, this is a child abuse case, for example, that those facts and issues could be more applicable to this case. So I find that although important, it's not specifically relevant to this situation. It is, however, relevant to the next request. So as to the first, extended standard is granted. The next request is to prevent visits to Mexico. So I think that's a good request, but not the way you all think. So the court finds that there is zero evidence in the record of any actual danger to any travel into Mexico. In fact, the evidence showed that there is travel to Mexico with mother. Now, based on dad's testimony, I think it is a reasonable inference that the nature of the charge that he was convicted of had to do with a, if not a Mexican criminal organization, then possibly a Latin American criminal organization. So I think that's a good request, but only on one side. I do not think travel to Mexico with dad is in the child's best interest. And there's no evidence that traveling to Mexico with mom puts her in any danger. Restriction is granted, but only for dad. Regarding Ms. Gonzalez's request, or at least assertion about dad being ever present or not being present, whatever that request was, the court is going to order the right of first refusal. So if Ms. Gonzalez cannot care for, possess, or take care of her child for more than 2 hours, she needs to let Mr. Flores know so that he can take care of their child. But the same thing in reverse. If Mr. Flores is unavailable for more than 2 hours, then he needs to let Ms. Gonzalez know so that she can possess, take care of, and be in charge of their daughter. The court is going to order that this child, who is 8 years old right now, I think it was a good request, and I think it was partially agreed to, not fully agreed to by Mr. Flores. This child should have access to her own bedroom. I think a good age is 10. I know she's 8 now. So, and you said you were going to think about it in the future. So I'll take that, if not a agreement, an acquiescence. So she should have her own bedroom at 10. That doesn't mean she has to use it. Children, you may give her own bedroom. She may want to sleep on the couch. That's okay. She may want to sleep with you. That's okay. But as long as she has access to a room that gives her privacy, that way no one can ever tell this court something is weird, off, objectionable, inappropriate. Just avoid those situations. But you have some time to do. She's still a child, right? Court also heard from Ms. Gonzalez about all persons being respectful. The court is just going to incorporate the Webb County standing orders on family law so that everyone, mom, dad, and everybody around you is respectful and courteous with each other. The next thing the court heard was a request from Ms. Gonzalez about allowing the child to ask to return to the other parent as she wishes. I'm going to flat out reject that for this reason. If that happens, well, I'm ordering that you all communicate through app close. That way there's a good and accurate record. If the child makes a request to go to the other person, just put it in app close, but don't return the child. And this is why. It's not going to matter today, and it's not going to matter tomorrow. When your child turns 13, 14, or 15, and you lay down the law with her and she doesn't like it, she's going to say, I want to go back to their parent. Let me just help you avoid that situation. You have full control over the discipline of your child. Your child doesn't get to dictate what happens to her. That is your right and your obligation, legally and morally, as parents. So let me avoid you that situation. It's not going to happen tomorrow. In 3 to 4 years, you'll be hopefully happy I did that. Regarding the makeup days, the court heard information and evidence and testimony about the not being able to access or possess. The court also didn't hear specific dates, only few months, and the court heard controverting evidence or controverting testimony as to whether those days were waived or whether they were disallowed or whether Mr. Flores didn't want to possess. So there's controverting evidence. I think this is what the court is going to do given that situation. I think the court can reasonably presume, based on the evidence presented, that what the court should do in this child's best interest is order 5 makeup days in the next school year, 2026 to 2027. That is either add in a day on a full Friday, maybe not, or a full Monday, and preferably during the period of a long weekend. But you need to let Mr. Flores, need to let Ms. Gonzalez know at least 10 days before you intend to exercise your extra one of those 5 days. You don't get to do them all at once, just one at a time in the next school year. And what the court is focusing here, since the court didn't hear so much weighty evidence on quantity, the court is focusing on quality. You'll have an extended visit so that you can visit here, visit quality time with your daughter, wherever. If you don't use all 5 days by the end of the school year 2027, they're lost. So let Ms. Gonzalez know 10 days before you intend to exercise one at a time. The court heard Ms. Gonzalez talk about child support. That's not set before the court, so child support stays the same. These are the orders of the court, and the court finds that ordering these things is in this child's best interest. These orders are due to the court honor before.
June 29 at noon by submission.
Is that sufficient time to prepare, Mr. Vela?
Yes, sir. I do have one clarification.
Yes, sir.
The court on behalf of my client and for the benefit of the parties. The court has imposed a 2-hour right of first refusal option. However, I assume that does not apply for their work because they're both employed. And so that's for non-work, the right of first refusal?
I think that's fine. The court did hear where each of the parties worked. I can only presume, I don't know specifically their hours. What I'm trying to do, Ms. Gonzalez and Mr. Flores, is avoid the situation and avoid Ms. Gonzalez complaining later or Mr. Flores complaining later that the child was left for extended period of times with some other person. Obviously, working is good. Working and provides for each of your families and your necessities and obligations. Ms. Gonzalez, the question before the court as posed by Mr. Vela is whether when you work, does the child stay in your constructive possession or does the child go back to the other parent? Mr. Vela seems to think that the answer is, no, the child stays with you even though you're at work. Do you have any objection to that?
For Brianna to stay with me,
So if you're at work and it's your time, Mr. Vela says you get to keep your daughter.
parents help me watch after her.
Okay, by agreement, there it is.
Thank
All
you.
right. Any other thoughts, comments, questions, or objections, Mr. Vela?
Just want to make sure that this is the, I believe the 3rd weekend of June. So I would ask the court to grant the visitation starting today so that we can exercise our visit this coming weekend. And then here comes July would be his summer session. So we want to make sure we get that there's no confusion that we're to follow the orders as of today.
Well, let me just say this on the record. So this, I'm looking at the calendar. I'll take judicial notice of the calendar. This is the third weekend, so I'm just doing an oral rendition. This is what should happen, but it's going to take Mr. Vela some time to prepare those orders. Tomorrow is a county holiday. The county will be closed, so the soonest you can have a written order is probably Monday or Tuesday, but I'm putting everybody on notice. These orders are effective right now. Anyone in violation of those orders, it's going to subject yourself to other things, but please don't do that. Just follow the court's orders, be respectful and kind to each other. And not for your benefit, but for your daughter's benefit. Whatever happens between you, she's going to pick up on this stuff. So just be courteous with each other. Do you have any questions for the court, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, I do. We had I don't know if you'll allow it, a Disney trip from the 20th to the 24th of July.
I will tell the court that I've spoken to my client about that, and my client would agree to swap those days in July, I'm sorry, for days in August. If Ms. Gonzalez would agree before the court to the swap, we'll agree to swap.
Any objection?
I'm in agreement.
This is wonderful. Thank you very much for talking to each other and agreeing, not for our benefit, but for your daughter. I'm sure your daughter is going to enjoy this trip and then enjoy time with dad. All right. Any other questions, Ms. Gonzalez?
So am I supposed to release Brianna today to him?
Today is Thursday. When does extended standard begin?
It's tomorrow because of because we're in a summer session and it's not applying to school. There is an issue on because there's a holiday, but I think we should just start tomorrow to make things easy for everybody.
All right. Any questions?
No.
Mr. Flores, do you have any questions?
Yes.
Oh, yes, Judge. I don't believe that there was a designation of drop off and pickup. I want the norm to be where we pick up the child at the petitioner's, at the respondent's home, and then she picks them up at our home, or that we meet somewhere in the middle. I think the best thing for them is just to do it as normal parents, pick up and drop off at their individual respective houses, and they have to provide an address.
Any objection, Ms. Gonzalez?
That's what I've been wanting. Thank you, Mr. Vela.
And quite frankly, folks, that works when people are courteous and respectful, because I hear this all the time. You all are making some really good decisions right now, because if I were to order this at the police station, the fire department, or a McDonald's, one person is always going to say, I ran into traffic, and the other person is there waiting for 20 minutes. But if you're waiting at your house, it's a more comfortable situation. So I think you all are doing fantastic. Ms. Gonzalez, Mr. Flores, I wish you both well. More importantly, I wish your daughter all the best.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Judge.
Thank you, Judge.